Hi everyone, welcome to Crazy Self. In this video, we are going to discuss about the tips you can use if you have an interview tomorrow, or else you want to prepare yourself for any interview. You can have a good impression over the interviewer and you don't stand out in any interview. Hey everyone, I'm Kavita and you're watching Crazy Self. Please subscribe this channel for beautiful stories and motivational videos. Love you all. Going for an interview is as it is nerve-wracking. But if you have to give an interview in a foreign language like English, it's a difficult matter altogether. You should always remember that English is our second language and you don't have to be nervous if you are not very fluent in English. Let's get started. First tip is always enter the room of the interviewer with a smile. Theory suggests that the interviewer selects any candidate within first 10 seconds. If you smile and enter the room, this will show two things. First of all, you are not nervous of this interview, and secondly, you are very confident and a pleasant personality. Second tip, always wear formals and behave formally. If you enter the room, close the door very smoothly so that it doesn't bang when you enter the room. Secondly, wearing formal dresses will give you a good impression to the interviewer that you are very professional. Thirdly, always carry your resume with you, extra things which you are required in the interview, extra pen for girls, extra makeup. If it takes much more time, you can always have a touch up. Next, don't use slang language. Don't enter the room and say hi, yup, yeah. This creates a very bad impression on the interviewer. Always behave formally. Always use full sentences. While answering the questions, you must always have an eye contact with the interviewer. If there are more than one interviewer, always have an eye contact with all of them. Don't just answer your question looking at the person who has asked you the question, because others are also listening. Try not to fumble. If you are actually not very comfortable in English and you want this job, you're not very prepared, so try and tell the interviewer about it. Tell them that you're not very comfortable with English language if it's not related to your work. For example, your work skills doesn't require any presentations and public speaking, your work skills doesn't require talking to the clients. You can easily tell the interviewer that you're not very comfortable in English language and you'll try and answer these questions in bilingual way, in both the languages. You can use Hindi words as well. This might take off the pressure of answering the whole questions in English. Always be confident in an interview. You know all the things beforehand. You are there, so there's no need to be nervous. Okay, even if you are prepared, even if you have written the answers of the most common questions and you are prepared in every way, you don't answer it like you are a robot. Try to have a conversation with the interviewer. Try to ask questions and try to take pauses, use hand gestures, try to be expressive. If you enter the room for an interview, if you are carrying a bag, having a phone with you, don't just put everything on the interviewer's table. You can adjust the bag at the side of your legs, put your phone inside your bag or in the pocket before entering the room. Don't just mess up. And please don't put your hands on the table while giving answers. Don't tap on the table. This will show nervousness. Don't lean towards the table. Don't do such things. These are the body languages which show that you are not comfortable, you are not confident. Always try to answer in to the point manner. try to make your answers quite crisp. No answer should be more than 1 minute, even if he has asked you to explain everything. Stop where you think that he is getting distracted. Okay, next tip. Always have few questions prepared for yourself to ask the interviewer. This will show that you are all equally interested in this particular job. For example, I'll give you a few examples of the questions you can ask the interviewer. After the interview is finished, you can always ask, when do you expect to have a decision of this interview? Second question that you might ask the interviewer is, do you provide any kind of training after joining? Training and induction program after joining? You should always do some kind of research on the company. You should know the company's full name correctly, full address, how old is the company, who is the topmost director or CEO or CMD of the company. You should always have the name of the person. Thirdly, you should always know who contacted you for the interview. Let's get to the next part of the video. In this part, I'll tell you a few words which you generally use in an interview and you pronounce it incorrectly. This will have a bad impression on the interviewer if you go and pronounce words incorrectly. First of all, you are going there with a copy of resume. Don't use the word resume, it's resume. If you use in your introduction, the word is career, not carrier, not career, it's career. Third is development. Next, if you're going for a finance job, it's debt, not debt, not debit. It's debt. D-E-B-T. It's debt. Comment, not comment. You don't want to comment on the previous employer's sales figures. You went for an interview on a Wednesday, not Wednesday, it's Wednesday. Being a woman, not woman, not woman, it's women. Being a woman, I want to leave office at the end of my duty, sharp at the end of my duty. Next is photographer. Photography is my hobby. I wanted to become a photographer. It's not photographer, it's not photography, it's photography. Now let's move on to the next section of this video, which is the important questions which can be asked in an interview. First question, which is always asked in an interview is, tell me something about yourself. I'll just provide you with some tips of do's and don'ts. This question is a trick question. Interviewer already has your resume. He already knows your education qualification. He knows your hobbies too. If some of you have written your hobbies in their CV, they already know your hobbies. Then why is he asking you, tell me something about yourself? This is because he wants to know about the communication skills you have. Secondly, he wants to know how confident you are about this interview. What do you think is important in your career, in your education qualifications, in your hobbies? What are your strengths? And how do you present yourself in front of them? They want to know all these things. So prepare a particular answer for you beforehand and be very confident answering this question because it is about you. Second question they might ask you is, why do you think we should hire you? Why do you want to get hired in this company? Why are you here? If this question is asked in the beginning, they are looking for your strengths, and you can also run through your resume a bit more. You can elaborate your things which you have already said in the previous question. Tell me something about yourself. And if this question comes at the end of the interview, this means that the interviewer hasn't made his mind to whether to select you or not. So he is looking for some more strengths which you already have, and how those strengths are related to the company and how your presence would be beneficial for the company. So you should always tell your strengths, mention your strengths which is beneficial for the company, how you can be an asset to the company. You should always explain some more of your strengths at that time. Again, that answer should be crisp and short. Third question, and this personally I feel this question is very absurd and should not be asked, but in most of the interviews this question is asked. Where do you see yourself in 5 years down the line? Again, the reason behind this question being asked to you is for how long you want to stay with the company, and because the interview is taking interviews, hiring a person is a very long process. It's time consuming, energy consuming, money consuming. So the interviewer wants to make sure at this point that you want to join this company for a longer period of time. So if you ever are trying to start a business of yours within 2 years of span, or move to an international company, or move internationally, never mention this while answering this question. Try and explain to the interviewer that you don't see this company as a stepping stone to join some other company, to go international, and also don't have a particular focus. Don't give a very focused answer. You don't want to become the VP of the company. You don't say I want to be on your seat after 5 years. This shows that you are very overconfident and you can't be pleased easily. You have very high expectations. Don't give those answers. You can always have a broader way to answer this question, that how do you want to achieve the goal. For example, you can always mention that what all works you are planning, what all skills you are planning to learn in the next 5 years, so that you can apply those in this company itself. You can also divide this question in different years. Like for the first 2 years, you can always present it. The answer should be having a plan, a total plan you have for the next 5 years. Like for the first 2 years, you are planning to expand in this particular job title which you have already got, and for the next 2 years, you are trying to expand your skills. You can make up a particular answer related to this question. What are your weaknesses? Don't answer this question. Don't try to be smart. Nobody is perfect in this world. So don't try to be perfect in an interview. If he is asking you for some weaknesses, always try to answer this question in a very liberal way. Don't connect this question with your personality or something which cannot be changed later on. Never mention that you are a workaholic. That doesn't work. Never mention that you are very hardworking. Please, who needs hardworking? People need smart working people. Secondly, don't try to answer this question by saying that nobody asked about my weaknesses before, so I am not prepared. I don't know my weaknesses. So you can answer this question by actually mentioning a quality which can be improved upon. For example, you can say that sometimes you find it difficult to present your new ideas in front of a lot of people. For example, if you have a larger team, it would be difficult for you to present new ideas in front of them upfrontly as soon as you join. So this might give an impression to the interviewer that this thing is coachable. At least after you get comfortable, you'll be able to interact well. Last but not the least, this is also a very important question, which is that why did you leave your previous company? Now, please don't get started in this particular question about all the problems you had with your previous employers, how the job was very tacky, how you didn't like, what all problems you were facing. Please don't start up with all that. He is not interested in that, and plus it also shows a side of you that you always crib about things. Always be positive about your previous company, because you have obviously learned a lot of things there, and you will always take those things with you in the next employment. So you always have to mention the previous engagements you had, previous companies, the previous clientele. Always speak positive, and how you learn things from them which you can use in this job. Always mention this. So guys, this is it. I hope this video was knowledgeable to you. Please comment and tell me how you find this video, and what all other questions you faced. Thank you so much for watching till now. Please subscribe the channel if you haven't already. Please like the video and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.